As we continue our discovery of the mysteries of Tasmania, we start to head into areas where there have been reported sightings of the Tasmanian tiger over the years since it was declared probably extinct.
Given the abundance of wildlife here, we're going to have road fatalities. Really unfortunate. Another big problem comes in where carnivores like Tassie devils come in, they start feeding off the carcass, boom, boom, and they also get hit by cars. I'll just drag it off the road. By dragging it right off the road, eagles and devils, they're not going to get hit. Travelling around the state of Tasmania is quite easy. The roads are...
Steve, something's been hit.
It was a spotted-tailed quoll, and it was limping. The quolls are a family of carnivorous marsupials, and if we can find it, we may be able to have its injuries treated by a vet.
He's really stressed out. I think he's all right.
They're tough little critters. He'll be okay. We'll leave him alone.
Night is the best time to look for practically every marsupial, and probably our best chance of seeing a thylacine. We can hear an animal moving through the bush, and as we get close, we see it's a Tassie devil, and it's feeding on a carcass of a dead wallaby. Devils are mainly scavengers, and the wallaby that this one's eating is far too large to have been hunted down by a devil. Even fully grown, they're not able to pull down an animal that size. The wallaby was probably a roadkill, and there won't be anything left by the time the devils are finished. They eat the lot, meat, fur and bone.
In devil society, the most dominant animal feeds first, while the others wait their turn. The sound brings in more competitors, and every new arrival means that shortly there'll be another fight. They have to decide who eats first, second, third, and so on. While we watched, 8 or 9 devils were attracted to the feeding.
This show of aggression is mainly to assert dominance. Rarely do they make contact. And just as well, or they tear each other apart.
If there are thylacines around, they might also be attracted by the sounds and smells of the feeding frenzy.
Instead, we catch sight of the distinctive spots of an eastern quoll, another hunter of the night in the Tasmanian wilderness. A little further on, we spot another one. And another. Normally they hunt alone, but this is the mating season and we're probably looking at a breeding pair.
Quolls carry 5 or 6 babies in their pouch, and when they're too big to carry, they'll raise them in a nest until they're about 20 weeks old. Like many other Australian animals, the eastern quoll has disappeared from the mainland and survives only in Tasmania.
One of the reasons these carnivorous marsupials have survived so well here is that Tasmania still has large areas of undisturbed bush linked together by wildlife corridors.
When we spotlight them clearly on open ground, we can see the movements that prompted settlers to nickname them native cats.
Now this guy better watch out. It's an eastern barred bandicoot, and he's a perfect size to be hunted down by the quolls that share his territory. Fortunately, they're fast breeders and fairly common over much of Tasmania, but getting very rare on the mainland of Australia.
From the wilderness, we're heading underground.
This magnificent formation is King Solomon's Cave, and it's a limestone cave which was created by an underwater stream. It's truly magnificent. The colour from these stalactites and stalagmites, truly one of the most awesome things I've seen. And the reason for these magnificent colours and formations is the limestone coming from the roof of the cave, forming these stalactites and stalagmites.
This particular cave was first discovered in 1908 when two men were out on a hunting expedition. They came back and passed ropes all the way down the length of the cave and explored it completely. In 1983, National Parks and Wildlife Service came in and renovated the whole cave with steps and lights and made it spectacular so that visitors can come from all over the world and enjoy the fabulous formations. There are more than 200 caves in this area, all of them shaped and decorated by the slow dripping of water loaded up with dissolved minerals and limestone. Every drop of water leaves a tiny deposit of limestone, colored by the dissolved minerals. It takes thousands of years to build up enough substance to form the shapes that fill the caves. Nature has finished its work in some, while others are still being built, one tiny drop at a time.
Some of these limestone caves are dry and some of them are wet. Maricopa Cave, the one we're in right now, is a wet limestone cave. This is a freshwater stream. Beautiful water. Even in the total darkness of these caves, we have discovered some life forms.
Long, spindly legs are a pretty common feature among creatures that never see the light of day. And this one's the Tasmanian cave spider, and it's found nowhere else in the world. Many cave dwellers that remain in total darkness for their entire lives have evolved with no eyes. The predators among them catch their prey with those long legs.
Deep in this cave, we found a really weird and wonderful little creature. Now, the glowworm actually glows green in the dark. The glowworm then drops little silk threads, anywhere from about 6 to 20 threads per worm. The green glow attracts little mosquitoes and sandflies, which get caught up in the threads, and then the worm simply reels them in and eats them down. Of course, in the light, we can't see the glowing anymore, but for some reason, little mosquitoes and so forth are attracted to it.
Scientists are continuing their study of this spectacular underground complex and their mysterious inhabitants. They've found several unique forms of life, and the limestone deposits have revealed secrets of climate changes over 250,000 years.
Mountain is frequented every year by tourists who come to see this spectacular scenery. And we're hoping to follow up on our search for the thylacine because several sightings have been made here in the past. Now, this cooler mountain climate means that animals have had to adjust to a different lifestyle from that of their cousins on the mainland. The platypus and the quolls also call this area home. And Cradle Mountain is renowned as being the place for the wandering wombat. Is this the most beautiful face you've ever seen? This is a Tasmanian wombat, and his closest relative is actually the koala. Now, the females have a little pouch like all marsupials do, only their pouch is backwards. The reason why is this is the largest tunneling marsupial. You're giving me a bit of a bite. You're always chewing. They tunnel down in the ground, and if they had a pouch that faced forwards, it would fill up with dirt. So they've got the backwards pouch, and they tunnel constantly. They have these wonderful claws, and they use their little claws for digging up dirt. Don't bite me again or I'll kiss you. When they dig up all the dirt, they then push it aside with their bodies, and they make these tunnels throughout their range. Now, they do have a few predators. The Tasmanian devils, maybe an eagle would get a young one, and certainly a Tasmanian tiger would make a meal of a wombat. So his best line of defense is this wonderful square bottom. He uses his little bottom to actually form a door in his burrow so nothing can come in. And if something does manage to come in, he pushes up with his back and he'll squash it flat.